Hello, good evening. I hope you had a nice day. I had a nice day and I'm ready to do some coding. Unity is opening up right now, so that's a really good sign. So let's start with talking about what we have what nice day we had today. Another sunny day, really hot summer. Now let's get serious. Okay. We have two tasks here that were leftovers from last time. First is we have changed how the system works. That lets us lose health if we are bloodthirsty as a vampire. A vampire can get bloodthirsty if you just do certain actions, like dealing damage and receiving actions, and then you will start to lose health very fast. You can stop this by biting someone or an animal, and then this will heal you and stop the bleeding and actually even give you some health points back. So this is going to punish the player if he's not biting enough people, which is a vampire trope. But on the at the same moment, you also nerf bite that it barely does damage. So in the game, you can see when an enemy is wounded. When he's wounded, he's going to bleed, and when he's bleeding, he only has 1 HP left. We have a function that if an enemy would, for the first time, go under 0 HP, he will start bleeding instead, and his health points will reset to 1 health. And then you will see that he's bleeding. You know you can bite him now, and maybe player will learn this, hopefully. Now, I'm also planning to place down a tutorial message. Now, one of the question marks that you can find in the beginning, but we haven't yet. Oh, let's also put this under these subtasks. And can we do tutorial question mark tells you when you can enemies. So obviously we want the system for the player to be fair, that he can see what's actually happening, and the blood on the ground is very visual. So when blood bleeding, it's very obvious that they are at a low HP cap, and then you can bite them. But for some people, if they are unsure or what this means, why they're bleeding, and how many HP they have left or something, you can specify or hint this to the player, so he can be assured if an enemy is bleeding, he will be dying in 1 hit. So else do we have left? We have to rewrite some dialogue that is triggered. We were correcting some skill dialogues because we reworked a lot of skills like yesterday, and we still have to to edit a dialogue and re-record it. This dialogue, the Nosferatu was just telling the player, I see you can now bite humans. And in the current build, you can bite humans from the start, so this dialogue does not make sense anymore, but you can complement the player on randomly activating another skill. So yeah, why not? And we also have to check our first level. There's a trigger which triggers bloodthirst at the beginning. We still have to check if this works correctly. So these are really, really easy subtasks. No big coding questions there, no big risk that they could explode into bigger tasks. These are really nice little things there. I also have been looking into my bot from last time, and the only thing that I really didn't like is I'm still moving too much around in my chair. I should really pay more attention to staying close to the microphone, because the setup that I use in OBS is not meant to deal with me getting away from my microphone. It really relies on me staying here, speak into the microphone very closely, and if I move away too much, the filters are going to filter out my voice too much or cut off the beginning. And also it doesn't look very professional if I move too much in my chair. Well, for programmers, we're a little bit nerdy, of course, but if you use a camera, they'll want to pay a little bit of attention. Now, I don't think that I will get rid of my habits in a day or something, so this is a long-term goal. I will mostly focus on programming, because I think that's the part that is more important than on my performance. But well, I will still observe a little bit. Okay, now I still have to update my progress bar. I've forgotten that. This is the 16th time I streamed in English. So, and we have our current task is, what are we going to start it with? I would say polish the tutorial area. Okay, let's start. So Unity has been set up nicely. I've done some tasks already yesterday. This is also a new copy of the game, and the build number did go up one iteration. Always making small steps and a lot of copies of the game. So if I accidentally fuck up the whole game for some reason, I don't have a problem with restarting. At least I should make sure that I don't lose weeks of work. So I make a lot of copies here and then. Now I really think I will maybe on the to-do list here focus on this task here, clean up code and publish it on GitHub. I might let's put this split this into 2 tasks, and next patch, start with the next patch, will immediately put it on GitHub, because it's always safer if you have your code on GitHub And people may look up their code. People who are interested in programming can maybe look into the code. I won't. I'm not sure if I will allow any coding there, and if somebody might grab the code and use it or something. It's it's not very likely, but there's possibilities there. For me, this will be just to have a security backup. If anything should go wrong, it's always nice to have your code and your project in the cloud, and then you're safe. Now I have my project already in the cloud. I have it on 2 hard drives on USB, so that's pretty safe. There has to go a lot wrong, but it's not always the newest version, so that might be a problem in the long run if something goes wrong. So let's just play the game and let's keep attention to this area here. And also let's read this tutorial message if this is still right. So I did go through the tutorial messages already and did read them. And I also did some stuff when the stream was turned off. I don't know, there were some subtasks here that I already have crossed out. It was not too much. I think it was skill tags. I reworked some of the text. It's not something that's really really interesting to show. So I thought I'm just going to clean this up. Just like copying the game into a new folder. That's nothing that I want to show on stream. So this should be the call message. Let's look at this. Yeah. Enemies and bite them at close range to drink blood. This will refill your blood meter and heal you. Your blood meter will drain every time you deal damage and receive damage. I don't like the font there. In the receive, the C is a little bit hard to read. Let's get it into the to-do list immediately. Change fonts. I'm not going to put this into a specific patch, or can I? Yeah, I would say let's put this after GitHub. This is not a big task. It's fairly easy to change the fonts. Just take some time. So I would say let's give it a complexity of 4. Putting something on GitHub. This is really easy. Once you don't know how to put something on GitHub, it's just I do it with the source tree, with the UI. Just click yourself through that, and then it puts itself on GitHub. You just have to set it up on GitHub one time. And after that, it's just really easy. And this new trailer here is to be moved right here. Okay. So, when your blood meter is empty, you will lose health. The blood meter is stopped during events like skill choices. That's not correct. That's not true. Let's go to the next area and then stop the game. So the problem with this description is it in events your blood meter is not stopped. It's if you receive damage that is stopped. So we have to find a way to describe that better.
You are now a vampire and have to drink blood. If you don't drink, you will lose health from your blood first. There is a barrier ahead. You need to use your bite on it to satisfy your blood first and heal yourself.
Okay. Here I want to change something. Two things. I don't want the bloodthirst effect to play twice. I only want it to play once, because at this moment we are not using bloodthirst. And I'm also going to set this bloodthirst meter to a very low value. So first, let's go with the first task here and look at this tutorial message. Let's just say you won't receive damage during events, dialogs, and skill shots. You will not lose health during events, dialogues, skill shots. Okay. The German text. Okay, that was an easy fix. Now let's go for this trigger. This one is maybe a little bit weird. I think it's a tutorial zone, this one. And let's look into this trigger itself. And also in level 1 control, I think there's there's a function that waits for us to finish this dialogue. Then it's going to play the bloodthirst effect again. So this is the code. There is the function that activates the bloodthirst effect. Still have to wait for the editor to fully analyze the text. which we can simply see when the text is being put into a lot of colors. Just make it easier to distinguish the different parts. Okay, waiting. Yeah, it's a nice day. I've been jogging for 3 hours today. That was really nice. Actually, I'm jogging for 2 hours and a little bit more, but with setting yourself up for that, changing your clothes, going to the bathroom after that, taking a shower. And after that, I usually drink a lot of water. That usually takes overall 3 hours because of the all this stuff that you have to add there. I also do breaks while jogging, just so my knees don't hurt. Because I think it's not good to overdo it with your knees. Especially if you're jogging 2 hours, that's a lot. So it was really nice. Looking forward to do it maybe on Wednesday again. Okay, now we can start editing the code. Yeah, and it is these 2 lines that are going to play the bloodthirst effect. And I think we can just skip them. Let's put them into a comment, because we might change. I might change my mind later. So no, delete bracket there. So let's put them into a comment. This it should work now. And now it's only going to play the bloodthirst effect inside of this function here. We also want to modify it. Now, when you see the activate bloodthirst function, it's going to play the bloodlust effects in your UI. And then this, we might want to set the bloodlust in the UI to 1. We don't want to have the player lose health in the tutorial. It would be if we would put the bloodlust to 0. Oh, let's last. Can we change this? No, can't. So we have to use the function for changing the bloodlust. Change bloodthirst. I think let's just say the maximum -1 +1. Is maximum bloodthirst negative +1. So we only have one bloodthirst. Okay, let's try it out.
Awake, evolve, become a great vampire. You are now a vampire and have to drink blood. If you don't drink, you will lose health from your blood first. There is a badge ahead. You need to use your bite on it to satisfy your blood first and heal yourself.
Ooh. That's unexpected. I never encountered this. What the? Okay, let's look into this. It's not supposed to happen in level 1. Can't have that. So we are inside of this area, but I'm also very confused why we are not falling down. This is something very unusual. Is there a respawner maybe? There's one at this side. So I guess we did get pushed into this respawner. If we're getting pushed into it every time. Why? I think we are at a weird Z coordinate, that's why. And now we are not getting away. Oh no. That's terrible.
Awake.
Okay, let's try to reproduce this. So here our position is 0. It's maybe the worst thing that could happen. The only thing we can do there is correcting that respawner, which is currently not working as it should.
You are now a vampire and have to drink blood.
The push from the shockwave there can actually push us inside of this rock. Let's look up if we have set up our rigid body correctly. Collision detection is set to continuous, which is right. I might look up the interpolate mode Give me a second. Interpolation is used to estimate the position of the irregularity between physics updates. It can be useful to switch this on when the graphics update is much more frequent than the physics update, because the object can appear to move along the jerky hops rather than having smooth motion. With interpolate mode, motion is smoothed based on object's position in various frames. Extrapolate mode smooths motion based on estimate of its position in the next frame. The choice of mode depends on the dynamics of the object during gameplay. So extrapolate estimates the position in the next frame. Interpolate smooths it from the previous frame. So interpolate seems to be the better option here. Aside from that, yeah, I don't really see a reason why you should extrapolate at all. Might be an edge case where this is nice, but I don't see any use for this. So the collision detection continuous is the one that we want, with the better one. Cannot change the collision detection of the tile map. So the only thing that we are left to do here is to change our respawner. So let's do that. So this respawner right here is a nice little script that is set up to respawn us if we should get inside of the wall here, which is not supposed to happen, but things fail, and that's how we handle that in that edge case. Not really nice to do this at all, but it's much safer than not leaving anything here. So now we have set up something here at this position, so the character is actually safe inside of that. This is really something that actually should be handled by Unity correctly. This is not something a developer should have to invest his time in at all. This is also not the first time that I had problem setting up the character in 2D so that he doesn't go through walls. That's the biggest complaint from me to Unity, that they might overthink what they are doing there. So whatever, we are going to do something. This show blast effect. Give this a bool. So UI effect, and if show UI effect, then please show the effect also in the UI. So here this two. Here is whatever we tell him to do. Cool. So UI. Show UI effect. Come on. Let's use the same twice. And now I'm glad that I really commented this, because I think I actually changed my mind already. I want to display the activation bloodthirst effect. Truly, I don't want to. The first time we do it, I don't want the UI to show the effect, because it's showing the effect at this weird position top left, where we don't see a UI inside of the dialogue. This makes it a little bit weird when the UI isn't activated, but you show parts of the UI moving. It's looking a little bit ridiculous. So let's not irritate the player, and let's press play here and just see how it looks now.
Awake. You are now a vampire and have to drink blood. If you don't drink, you will lose health from your blood first. There is a barrier ahead. You need to use your bite on it to satisfy your blood first and heal yourself.
Oh, it set the bloodthirst to 0. Now we're losing health. What? Oh, I know what happened. No, I don't know. So normally you would now start healing yourself by biting the bats.
Lane, finally I found you. I heard that you have turned into a vampire and want to help you. Let's get you to safety. There's a group of angry...
Too late. You're mine now, vampire. I will get rich with the bounty on your head.
The bandit is blocking your path to the artifact behind him. If you want to survive, you need the artifact. Use your bite on the bandit to get through.
And now we can bite the bandit. Und get our first skill.
This is the area where a vampire named Lane showed up. Find this monster and kill it. The Count has also placed a good bounty on its head. Let the hunt begin!
Okay, now in this area we want the player to have a question mark, which explains how the combat actually works. So where would we set this up? We might put it right here, into this position, or we drop the ceiling a bit and make the player go and jump up here a little bit. Or we put a question mark right here after the player has engaged his first enemy. So tons of option there. And this is how you're supposed to do the combat, like that. Get the enemies into a low state and then finish them with your bite. So I think this might be the best area to put in the next tutorial, the next and last tutorial message. So let's copy this tutorial message right here and put it down here. Pretty sure the player is going to find this. And this will have the headline combat. The next tag will kill them. Use this to finish them with a bite. So yeah, this is explaining the player exactly how he's supposed to play. So, or how we want the player to play. Now it's actually the player choice in the end if he doesn't want this. So the last sentence here is a little bit unnecessary, but for beginners it might be a good hint. Okay, I think this concludes our tutorial messages. So me think for a moment. I don't think that there's anything left that we could maybe set up. So I mean, if we test the level later, we might want to change something, but I think will only be minor changes. I actually don't know what we could change now, so let's save and cross this out. And now we are going to do dialogue. Yay! So let's first put this in the stream. And the Nosferatu dialogue. Okay, now as I said, the Nosferatu is going to reference which skill you have picked, and see in the to-do list, it's skill 3 choice 1. So let's at first see what is skill 3 choice 1 and how is it working. So I think this is in the global variables. There's skill text, skill 3, and here's number 1. Oh, so this is actually also have to change this text. It's not correct anymore. Let me go back to level 1. I think I changed it. Maybe I didn't put it into the global variables. So the skill description was not correct there. No, it's actually the wrong text. The other text seemed to be okay. So no worries there. We have to change this text though. So this is a little bit hard because it tells the actual values which are in the UI, but the player might not be able to understand why now it's going from 35 bloodlust to 70, but the player doesn't know that each attack and each time he receives damage is going to subtract 5. So let's just explain the player the mechanic inside of the skill. It's something weird to do, but well, I think it might work. we lose 5 blood first by receiving and dealing damage by default. And the bad thing about this text is that we don't have a way to read out this value right here, which would be useful. So if we would reference the value right here, we could make sure that we don't forget this text data if we change it. So if we have to balance the game data, and this number might change. So this is a little bit problematic. So I've seen that a lot of people do this, but since this is a very old project, I haven't set up a system for reading out these values. It's a little bit sad here, but we have to deal with this. Okay, let's read this so we don't overlook a mistake. You double the time until you need to drink blood. You get 5 blood first damage by receiving and dealing damage by default. Let's swap out this by with 4. You get 5 blood first damage for receiving and dealing damage by default. If you reach 35 blood first damage, you will start to lose health. This skill doubles the amount of total blood first damage to 70. Yeah, okay, that's nice. So let's translate this into German. Okay. Let me read that for one time. Zeit, bis du Blut trinken musst. Du bekommst 5 Blutdurstschaden jedes Mal, wenn du Schaden nimmst oder austeilst. Wenn du 35 Blutdurstschaden hast, wirst du anfangen, Leben zu verlieren. Diese Fähigkeit verdoppelt diese Grenze auf 70. Okay. Let's apply these changes in the skill text to the global variables. Now we will be able to see this text in every level. Let's save this. Now, we have a dialogue by the Nosferatu, which is going to reference this skill. I think it's maybe... It is one of these. It's one of these. Oh, there's 2 variants of this dialogue. One is, I see you are now able to bite humans. You've truly unlocked the powerful abilities of a vampire. And then there was a rare dialogue choice. It is interesting that you decided to be able to bite humans when you actually never killed one. So this skill actually has two variants. One for the peaceful option, if you're doing a pacifist one, you're going to hear different dialogue than if you're going to kill people. So let's go for the default one. You're going to hear nearly every time you going for a playthrough there, because the pacifist one in this game is there, but it's actually not that much fun that I would say anyone is going to do this twice. So this is the default one. There's also 3 endings that are not the default ending, and a peaceful ending, and the player is most likely to be willing to play through. So see, you have been able to hold back your blood first, even though but it seems you have been suppressing your blood first. So he's mocking him. The Nosferatu is mocking you for choosing this skill actually. See, we've been suppressing your bloodthirst. That did not keep you from killing people. From killing my servant. I think the second sentence is a little bit weird. Alright, let's try to read this. See, you have been suppressing your blood first. Seems like you're seems like you're okay. You're and he's a Nosferatu. He's not using this short form. Seems like you are too weak to handle some pain. That did not keep you from killing my servants. Okay. I think the second sentence is a little bit hard to get, especially if you are not getting immediately that he's referencing to this specific skill. So let's come up with a new phrase. You could also just skip the second sentence. It would still be amazing just to have this reference. Suffering from your blood, your vampire instincts. Maybe this makes more sense. I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts. So that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Let's leave out the middle part. It seems a little bit off. Well, seems like you are too weak to handle some risks. But that did not keep you from killing my servants. Yeah, that might go. That might be a good idea. Okay. Let's translate this. Okay. Translated this into German. Let's read it out. Wie ich sehe, hast du. Okay, that's the first mistake. Hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können? Du bist wohl zu schwach, um das Risiko zu beherrschen. Aber das hat dich nicht davon abgehalten, meine Untertanen zu töten. Okay. Let's make a new version. The pacifistic part. If you have never killed anyone, this little sentence here at the end does not make any sense. These are, if you're going for the pacifistic route, the Nosferatu is also going to be very hostile towards you, because he doesn't like a non-violent vampire. He wants somebody who is strong and can defend his lands. This is his plan all along, and he actually wants to make you his right hand. He's evil, but he still has his reasons, and he's also going to give you the option to not fight him. So this is where the story just starts to grab, and the player can actually completely just say, fine, I'm not going to fight you. This is where I think the best parts of the dialogue in the game are. Unfortunately, there are not too many options in the game that are that good, but I think this is one of the best ones. And there's the consequences from this are also pretty big. You're going to have two totally different endings and two different more levels if you choose to be a servant, if you defy the Nosferatu. These are also separate from the pacifist ending. Let's change this part here. I've never met such a low-life vampire. I've never met such a low-life vampire. Yeah, it's going to be nice to record. I think I'm recording this today. It's just 4 sentences, and they are not that hard. The Nosferatu voice I did it a couple of times, and it's really easy to make the Nosferatu once you did him all over and over again. So I'm not having a hard time to get into his character. Suffering from some lag right now. Okay. I think I might restart Unity because the lag is quite too much, and do a short break. This is worrying me a little bit, and I don't want to lose any progress that I made. So be right back.
John Schnetti Dev
Hello. So, I'm back. Let's start recording. Go into the boss level. We are actually in the boss level. Now we can start recording. So for this we are going to open our dialogues so we can read the actual dialogue that we have to say. We're just going for the plain, simple route to go through these two dialogues and read them out. So first let's listen into the old dialogues and let's disable Twitch, the Twitch soundtrack by Twitch. So we don't get this into our voice recording. Let's first start with playing the old clip so that we can listen how did it actually sound.
It is interesting that you decided to be able to bite humans when you actually never killed one.
Okay, this is what we have to match. This is really just plain simple, trying to sound really rough and try a really cheap vampire accent. Okay, not very cheap, but let's just try. Now I'm programmer, artist, and everything else, so I can't press. Wait, let's see how suppress is written. It's written right. Just wanted to check the spelling there. So I can't practice the vampire accent every day. I still think I can get it. Okay, let's go.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts.
Oh wait, I think this is still too loud.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts.
Yep, this is too loud. Need to put that back up later.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Neither did you kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire. I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Neither did you kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire.
Yeah, I think fine. Let's listen.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Neither did you kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire.
Okay, nice take. Then let's look into our project folder. On my screen, and here I have a folder. Voice settings. Fortunately, it does not say anything. But to trim that, look into that. pitch by 5.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts.
Equally. I think this is just good. Higher pitch.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer with.
Add voice profile. This. Reduce the noise. Amplify. Loudness. Make average. Loud enough. And now find the find the pitch. Look for the old, not better sound. With the old sound, very, very confident and find the right. Here's the one. It's
I was very surprised that you did not take the artifact for your blood magic.
really pitch.
I see you have been.
12.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer with.
Maybe.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer with.
15.
Take the artifact for your blood magic. Very brave, but foolish.
Minus. I think it's pitch. And maybe some.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Neither did you kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire. I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Neither did you kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire. I was very surprised that you did not take the artifact for your blood magic. Very brave.
This does not have as much versus purple.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering.
6. Is supposed to.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Neither did you kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire. I was very surprised that you did not take the artifact for your blood magic. Very brave, but foolish.
This is. I can Okay, let's just apply.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts.
Oh, can't use.
I see you. I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts. I see you have been. I see you have been I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts. I was very surprised that you did not take the artifact for your blood magic. Very brave, but foolish. I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts, so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Neither did you kill instincts, so that you can fight longer from your bloodthirst. Neither did you kill anyone. I have bloodthirst. Neither did you kill anyone. Kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire.
Oops. Moving. Okay for the not optimal. Double distinct.
Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können. Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger.
Okay. Way too much. Oh. Dampening. Set them up. Now in my hands I have some dampening material, and I'm going to just put them under my microphone. Add them. Will filter out some echo. This should do a little bit. Try this out.
Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können.
Okay, let's do this.
Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können.
Still not enough. Mic turn off. Going to so it didn't work too. You can hear too much echo. Blanket, mic do. Set up a blanket. Put it up. Add microphone. Then we can actually that really. And this will go. Oh, now I'm sitting here with a blanket. This take again. So the hardest part about actually being code that we out. Dampening. That I can barely see. And read. Now I'm going to blanket over my head and the microphone. This is going to dampen echo very, very much. So the only thing that I can see now is the lines of code that I want to read. I have to Trouble to find the record button. There it is. Okay, let's try this.
Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können. Noch hast
Listen to knowing me. First listen. The blanket did act.
Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können.
Okay, it really noticeably suppressed the act. Blanket is working very well. We will use the blanket, might be it on camera. I think it's fun. I'm going to typo. Sounds a little bit. Good, now see. With this. Also, so let's go. Did not kill anyone. Also did this. English text. Here's audacity. Audacity. Blanket ready and let's
I see that. I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. It is also disappointing that you did not kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire.
That? Getan. Take a little long, huh?
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. It is also disappointing that you did not kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire.
Much better.
I see that. I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. It is also disappointing that you did not kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire. Vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. It is also disappointing that It is also disappointing that you did not kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire.
I'll go for the German version.
Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können. Es ist auch enttäuschend, dass du niemanden getötet hast. Du bist der geringste Vampir, der mir je begegnet ist. Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können. Es ist auch enttäuschend, dass du niemanden getötet hast. Du bist der geringste Vampir, der mir je begegnet ist.
Start editing.
Wie ich sehe, hast du...
Whiskey child. Hello. I was about to ask why you have a blanket on your head, but I think I figured it out. Yeah. Just because of the echo. I have room here. This sound panels. Too much echo. You still can hear the echo. And I was doing the recording, and first time I just tried to re-record, and the blanket on your head, it damped the changes the quality of. I have a lot of recording for this character already. I have to measure the. In the old recordings, there's no echo, so this recording cannot have. It's going to be different. Could have. Yeah, it's cutting out because I put the volume down a little bit. Sorry. I have to put the volume of the microphone down a little bit here in Audacity. Because if I put it to 100%, it is going to be too loud and going to max out, which is not going to sound nice. But this uses the system settings. But this is a good idea. I might try some work telecons with the blanket method. Yeah. The only downside is it's if you really do a lot of recordings, it's getting hot in there. So don't do this over half an hour, especially in the weather conditions we are in right now. Or you're in Canada, yeah, you might you might have it a little bit nicer there. In Germany, it's at the moment 28 degrees and it's 0 o'clock, so yeah, it's really hot in here. At 24 degrees, that's nice. I think 24 is ideal for sports, for working. I think the ideal working temperature is 22 degrees statistically, where the most people are most productive, but everything around that is actually a nice temperature, I think. Oh, you have air conditioning, yes. So here in Germany, it's very uncommon to have air conditioning. I only know one guy in my entire life that had an air conditioner, and he just did this after he made a lot of money from his job, and he was like, I don't know where I can put my money there. Maybe air conditioner. Also in Germany, that most people are not really a fan of air conditioning just because of the electricity costs. On the other side, we heat with gas, and that hasn't turned out to be a good idea.
Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können. Es ist auch enttäuschend, dass du niemanden getötet hast. Du bist der geringste Vampir, der mir je begegnet ist.
Okay, this recording is fine, so I can save this. I have two more recordings that I have to do. And let me set up the dialogue first. Okay. Was same way for my grandparents in Italy. Very common here. Yeah. I decided to do a breakout clone for my first Unity. Thought it would be a simple starting point. Breakout. Let me look into that. I once knew this game. Ah, I see. That's very old school. The old school breakout where you have to crack some blocks. Yeah, classic game with bricks and ball and pedal. Yeah, I had some. I had console for my parents, which was very old. I don't know if this was Atari. I think they said so, but it has been a long time. And we could play with a joystick, and there were maybe 5 games that we could play. One of them was Breakout. The other ones were some tennis for 2. Some weird football game was there, and the other ones I can't remember right now. But these were classic times. So I'm going to prep my next dialogue now. Have to set up the volume of my microphone again, and well, I won't be talking on stream then because it's going to cut my voice.
I see you. I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Seems like you are too weak to handle some risk, but that did not keep you from killing my servants. I see. I see that you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Seems that you are too weak to handle some risk, but that did not keep you from killing my servants.
Okay, I had some problems there with stuttering, but I think we can just cut out some sentences there, some repetitions by me, and we'll be fine.
I see that you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Seems that you are Seems that you are too weak to handle some risk, but that did not keep you from killing my servants.
I think this sounds a little bit weak. Let's, especially the last part. Let's try to do that one again. can do that much better.
I see you have been suppressing your I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts. That's... I see that you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Seems that you are a little bit... Seems like you are too weak to handle some risk. But that did not keep you from killing my servants. But that did not keep you from killing my servants.
So now I have to find the starting point. No, I repeated the start over and over again. Might be here.
I see that you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Seems that you are a little bit... Seems like you are too weak to handle some risk. But that did not keep you from killing my servants. But that did not keep you from killing my servants.
Yeah, I think the second version of but that did not keep you from killing my servants sounds a little bit darker, more impressive.
I see that you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Seems that you are a little bit... from your bloodthirst. Seems... Seems... Seems like you are too weak to handle some risk. But But that did not keep you from killing my servants.
Okay, let's take this into the game. First, let's apply our filters. Listen one more time.
I see that you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Seems like you are too weak to handle some risk. But that did not keep you from killing my servants.
Okay, let's put it into the game. And the last one will be the exact same line, just in German. So let's set up this quick, because I'm starting to sweat. It's not something that you want to do for a long time. It's 28 degrees.
Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können. Du bist wohl zu schwach, um das Risiko zu beherrschen. Aber das hat dich nicht davon abgehalten, meine Untertanen zu töten.
Okay, if this sound works, we're finished. So one little trick that also works with the blanket, if you are recording some sounds and you you are not happy with the result, but want to change little things, just put a blanket around the recording area, and it might change a lot how the sound actually is recorded. Well, let's put away the blanket for now. Just watch my first tutorial on rigging and animating 2D sprites today. My head hurts. Okay, did you rig and animate 2D sprites with bone sprites, like importing a PSB?
Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können. Du bist wohl zu schwach, um das Risiko zu beherrschen. Aber das hat dich nicht davon abgehalten, meine Untertanen zu töten.
Yep, well, this one was how to do it with PNG files, but similar. Ah, okay. You can actually import a lot of PNG files and put them together. Von of GIMP saves PSB files and don't plan to buy Photoshop. Yes. Also have GIMP and used it. The main reason why I use Photoshop is for two reasons. First is a lot of employers just request that you learn Adobe, which is, yeah, it's just how it works, and a lot of people are used to Adobe. The second one is I am used to Adobe because my father did buy an Adobe product when I was young, and this is how I started to work in Adobe. And back then it was not a subscription-based model. It was just a release each year, and you did buy it, and that was about it. I think it was way better. I also think Adobe should be open source. That's also something that I'm very disappointed by Adobe, because if you look back 30 years, they already had most of the functions ready for Adobe, and they just have to change some lines of code every year and make a maybe better looking UI, and then they get their money. And I don't think that they put in so much work anymore that they can justify you paying so much for your subscription.
Du bist wohl aber das hat dich nicht davon abgehalten, meine Untertanen zu töten.
I've purchased Adobe subscription model ever since they announced it. I dislike GIMP somewhat since none of the shortcuts are the same. Yeah, also. And so one of the things that you're used to for Photoshop, you get GIMP, and I'm actually very confused when I try to do some layering stuff in GIMP, and it just puts me off. And I'm used to Photoshop, but I rather have the software blocked once. Yeah. Yeah, I just straight up stay with my comment there. I think Adobe Photoshop should be open source right now. It's way too old of a program to be justifiable to be not be public property there. At the rate I use the software, I will have bought it 3 times over if I subscribed. What sucks is now that I have a job and can afford it, I can't outright buy the software. Yeah. I mean, if you get this subscription model, you kind of trap out yourself into their schemes where you don't actually pay that much each month, and you just have more living expenses, and you can handle that. But in the long run, you just pay them every month, and having more living expenses is something that everyone should desperately should try to avoid. This is why subscription models are very, very dangerous. And I cannot say do piracy, but I can just say I kind of understand everybody who says they do piracy because they can't afford it, or they outright say they don't think that the subscription models are right at the moment. For a lot of products out there, even for Netflix or other streaming services, you should be able to just pay them once for a series that you want to watch or something. Instead, you have this weird model where you just have more living expenses, and it ramps up over time. You can have so many subscription models that it can add up to 200 euros or dollars easily. And that's not right, in my opinion. Just not right. GIMP doesn't have non-destruction adjustment layers. You have to copy your layer and apply levels for X, and that workflow sucks. And subscription models get more popular. Now Office is doing it. Oh no. Yeah. I'm still using a free Office version from university. It's going to run out soon. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, I will have to make sure my licenses from Windows, Office, and everything from my university, I have to renew them before I leave the university. I have a master's degree, but I think I'm immatriculated until September, and then I have to I'm going to be exmatriculated because I finished my degree and I don't have any reason to stay a student. Yeah. The only reason that I would maybe stay a student is because you get subscription models for your work, which is yeah, a reason why a lot of people in Germany actually just sign in for some in university into somewhere where they, you can just sign in for free. In Germany, you don't have to pay that much. I think it's 300 euros per semester, so every half year, and you get from that a ticket for the train service, which is much bigger and better than in Canada, and you get Excel, Windows, and maybe depends on your university even more. My university gives me access to antivirus, So you get a lot of access. This for that for free. That you would have to pay for way higher if you wouldn't be a student.
Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können. Du bist wohl zu schwach, um das Risiko zu beherrschen. Aber das hat dich nicht davon abgehalten, meine Untertanen zu töten.
Okay, now we have recorded our dialogues. Let's put them into the game. I have to rename them. Did give them the wrong name accidentally. I can just copy and paste the name. The old ones were WAV files, which I don't want to use anymore. I want to use MP3 because it's just way smaller. And for voice recording, it's not that important. Difference is not noticeable. Okay. So I can now drag them in. And the only thing I have to do is now to change the audio clip here. It will have the same name. A little bit disappointing though that I can't see the type of the audio. Doesn't tell me that this is MP3, which is a little bit annoying, because this is easy to mess up now.
Ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger ohne Blutdurst kämpfen zu können. Es ist auch enttäuschend, dass du niemanden getötet hast. Du bist der geringste Vampir. Have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Seems like you are too weak to handle. Ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um länger...
Okay, that's all the dialogue options that we needed to set up. Now let's look into the trigger that is using these dialogues. For that, we are going to look into the main character and just plain find the field for the skill, which is being used for that, and find its usages. It's a skill choice right here. Okay, now to play this, I'm going to enable the aforementioned skill, which is this one. It is already enabled, and the only thing it will also look into is how many humans did we kill. So let's look into the game controller and global variables, and here is for test functions it is set up that we have killed 3 humans. So let's test what the most fulgurator will say now. He should mock us for picking up the skill and killing some of his people. Yeah, that's taking way longer. I expected. It should not take a minute actually. It should be finished in 10 seconds. And we have a null exception. What is this? Ah, okay. It does not find the blood UI. Okay, let's set this up. So here in the player UI, we have to enable this because it was disabled in previous builds, which did not use bloodthirst in boss fights, but now we do. And now it is trying to find the blood UI. Okay. Another thing that is not set up. This is also something that is supposed to be in the blood UI. Oh yeah, these frames here. I think I have to adjust this in a lot of levels.
Long have I waited for you, Lane, but thanks to your new powers, you have made it. How does it feel being a vampire? Indeed, I am the vampire who made you. Do you feel the power inside of you? It is big, bigger than in others. Long have I searched for someone who can be my equal. I have told my servants that they need to kill you. This was to test you and your abilities, even though the potential cost of life worried me a lot. I see that you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. Seems like you are too weak to handle some risk, but that did not keep you from killing my servants. Letting the black mage live was a good choice. He is a good sir.
Okay, the only difference from the sound that we just imported and the other sounds around it was that our sound did not have as much bass. We have to adjust it later. I'm going to test if we put the humans killed to 0, if now we will hear the other dialogue. For this, I'm going to skip all the other dialogue. It is not important for us right now.
Do you feel? I have told my. I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. It is also disappointing that you did not kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire.
Okay, now the only thing that we have to adjust is we have to give it more bass. Let's do that. Because I still have the English voices in my head, I'm going to start with the first English one.
I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. It is also disappointing that you did not kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire. I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts.
Okay, let's just plane out or write the old file. And do that with the other files too.
Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte und I see that you have been suppressing your vampire instincts. Wie ich sehe, hast
Yeah, I need to make this a little bit more silent, a little bit less loud. De-amplify.
Wie ich sehe, hast du deine Vampirinstinkte unterdrückt, um
Oh, this looks fine. And we can overwrite the files in Unity. That we are going to just open the files in the Explorer and overwrite them. Okay, these are the write files. Let's try it out.
Long have I waited for you, Lane, but thanks to your new... Do you feel the power inside of you? It is big, bigger than in others. Long have I searched for someone who can be my equal. I have told my servants that they need to kill you. This was to test you and your abilities, even though the potential cost of life worried me a lot. I see you have been suppressing your vampire instincts so that you can fight longer without suffering from your bloodthirst. It is also disappointing that you did not kill anyone. I have never met such a low-life vampire. Letting the Black Mage live was a good choice. He is a good servant.
Okay. I think it's still a little bit noticeable if you listen closely, but I think I used another type of environment for the sound, and without knowing which environment you exactly used, it's impossible to get the right sound again. I might have used a cube, which a box with dampening material, which I sometimes use for some recording, or I have used some to just put some dampening material around the microphone, but I don't know the exact setup, so that's really hurting me a little bit there, but I think it's okay. And we don't have too much time to re-record this again, so we're going to cross this out, and this is the final sub-step for check the West skill effects. And this big task has been completed, and now we don't have any big tasks ahead. And the next task is going to be improving the blood border, try out a heartbeat movement for the UI. So you have this heart, and I want this heart really to pump out some blood. I want to see some movement in this heart sprite right there, and I can do this with the shader graph. Then I want to try out a new main character facial expression, and right now it's trying to be neutral, but the new one should be a little bit more neutral with a closed mouth and more leaning towards the dramatic side of a vampire. This one, the expression right now is a little bit weird, I think. This is also not a lot of work to do. It's just drawing a line for the mouth and trying it out. Then we are going to try out a bloom effect for the background text and torches. I'm especially interested in bloom effects for the background and trying to blend this into the environment. I also want to look into some other games there and just try to what other games did very good. Some have really good bloom effects for the environment, and I think that can greatly increase the quality of the game. Then I want to change the melee attack of the peasant, which is the first enemy. Right now he does damage automatically if you come close to his pitchfork, and I want him to have a step animation, because since he is the first enemy, you might want him to have a small delay before he does damage, so the player can maybe bite him and learn how to play the game. Right now the peasant is a little bit too counterproductive to what I want the player to do in the first level and what the player should learn. So these tasks are all very small and will all be done in one day at least. Hopefully, maybe I can be able to do 2 at a day. Especially the main character facial expression, that will not take more than an hour. And I will swap the facial expression with the heart movement, because the facial expression and the new blood border will require me to take out my drawing tablet and draw a little bit. And after we have done all of this, we are going to make new skill videos. So we have changed the skills, and then we have to record the new skills and how they are displayed in videos. And these videos are going to pop up every time you want to take a skill. You have the option between two skills, and if you pick one, it will first show you a video what it actually does, and then you can still cancel it, look at the other video, and then you can say, okay, let's pick this one or that one. Then I have some code which don't react to difficulty settings, even though it should. Some attacks of enemies don't actually adjust their attack damage if you set the difficulty to hard or easy. And the last thing is we are going to test this. So then we are finished after all these tasks. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tasks. So if I do one task per day, it would be really nice. I think tomorrow I should be able to do 2 tasks at least. That would be a little bit disappointing if I only get one. And so on Sunday I should be able to test the new patch, but we'll see about that. The new skill videos tend to take a lot of time to record them. I'm not sure if this might be a two day task. So there's a little bit of risk. And the last risk is, of course, testing a new patch. There has been a ton of changes since the release of the game now, and I'm really not happy with the released version of my game at the moment, because when I was releasing, I thought it was a good game and I did everything that I had on my list. I did cut some corners which I had with testing and refining the game, and also some ideas where I just said to myself, now I just want to do my core ideas that I had back then, and I cannot think of new things right now because I have to release, because of time pressure and money. And good evening, Blue Sacho. What's up? Nice to see you around. I'm currently ending my stream and trying to plan ahead a little bit and talking about what's going to be done soon. Schnelly, yay! How are you doing? It's nice to see you around, Blue Sacho. Fine, and you? I'm totally fine. The heat is a little bit much, so 28 degrees in my room right now. And when I'm streaming, I can't have my window open because it would be a little bit bad if the people on the street hear me. So I'm happy if my stream is ending soon and I can open my window. And I also want to go to sleep soon. So, yeah. But aside from this, I'm very happy at the moment. Wieso reden wir in English? I made a challenge with myself. I want to be fluent in English. I want to improve my English. I also see myself more in the international space, just as a programmer. And this is why I made myself the first task to stream 100 times in English. And I'm really, really excited to see if in the end it will be noticeable that I speak a better English or not. Maybe I will stream 100 times and my English will still be at the state that it is currently, which is okay, but it could be better. And I'm really excited if it maybe improves a lot by just streaming 100 times. You're very fluent already. Yes, I'm very fluent. I used to spend a lot of time in my youth with other foreigners, and I still have a German accent. You can people can notice that immediately. I don't think that is a big problem. Sometimes I have problems to finding the words at the appropriate time, and also using wide range of words. You kind of stick to some phrases you are not practicing enough. So this is also some things that I just want to improve on. And aside from this, I'm also trying to just make at least an acceptable performance in English. So maybe I will have to speak with other English people at work, and it's always an advantage. I'm trilingual, and my other language are not even close to your English. Yeah, I'm bilingual, English and German. Yeah, and Latin, but I can't speak Latin. Yeah, Latin is, we don't talk about Latin. I've completely forgotten about that language. But that was was only talked in school a little bit. And we didn't even talk in Latin, we were just translating. English, French, and Italian for me. Oh, so yeah, French is actually very useful in France. I think back in the days, in the early 2000s, the French people were always trying to get you to speak French, even if you had no clue how the language works. So yeah, even today, if you have two groups of young people, they meet each other, and there's one guy who speaks French because he learned it in school. All the French people are stopping to speak English and start to speak French again, and the others just have to wait for the translation of the one guy who can French. It happens to me every time I do something with the kids, and it's kind of annoying and disrespectful, I think, because if you do an international meeting, it's in sports, I think it's a little bit disrespectful. It's cool. I have to visit France again soon. Well, then I wish you a good trip and have fun on your trip. And I'm going to end this stream right now because, as I said, the next time I will have to take out my drawing board, a drawing tablet. I'm not going to do that now. So I think this is a good time to end the stream, and I wish you all a good evening and thank you for watching. Thank you.